elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country.
No one saw it coming. Not the anchors, not the White House staffers pacing behind the cameras, not the millions of Americans who sat down in front of their screens expecting a routine political broadcast. What unfolded instead felt like history bending in real time, quiet, sharp, and devastating. The country had been buzzing all week. A joint televised conversation featuring President Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama, framed as a discussion on unity and the American future, was something the nation had never seen before. People didn't just tune in, they rearranged their lives for it. Dinner went cold, text threads stopped, bars muted the music. The broadcast opened with a slow, dramatic pan across the studio. Obama sat poised, shoulders relaxed, eyes steady. He looked like a man who had nothing left to prove. Trump, meanwhile, leaned forward, hands clasped, jaw tight, scanning the teleprompter he rarely used, but checked anyway, as if daring it to challenge him. The moderator welcomed the nation and introduced the topic. Before she even finished her sentence, Trump cut in. Well, unity would be a lot simpler if the last administration hadn't left a mess the size of Texas, he said, pointing at Obama without even turning his head. He didn't smile. He didn't wait for a reaction. He just threw the punch. Obama didn't respond. Not yet. He simply watched Trump with the expression of someone studying a storm they already know the direction of. Then Trump continued, voice louder, hands slicing the air. You got a prize for doing nothing. Nothing. They handed you awards like candy. Worst president except Biden. Sleepy, terrible. But you? Not good. Not good at all. The studio fell still. Even the moderator froze. Obama blinked once, slowly, and then the silence stretched, a tight, breath-holding silence that rolled across living rooms from Seattle to Miami. A mother in Detroit whispered, "Come on." A barber in Philly turned the shop radio higher. A college dorm in Atlanta went completely still. Finally, Obama leaned forward just slightly. "Donald," he said, quiet, steady, almost painfully calm. "The job, your job now, is to lead, not point fingers." It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, but it hit like a brick dropped into a glass lake. Trump shifted in his seat. Obama continued, "I never expected you to adopt my views or follow my policies, but I did hope, for the country's sake, you'd show interest in taking the responsibility seriously." That line rippled through the studio like electrical current. Trump fired back instantly. "I've built more in 1 week than you built in 8 years, he snapped, listing off executive orders, promises, claims. Some accurate, some twisted, some born out of thin air. His voice swelled, filling the room like heat. Obama listened without interrupting, fingers tented gently, head angled ever so slightly, the look of a man timing the beat between lightning and thunder. America watched the two men like opposing forces of nature, one chaotic, one controlled. One erupting, one absorbing, one trying to own the room, the other shaping it. When Obama finally spoke again, he didn't raise his voice. He lowered it. "Donald," he said, barely above a murmur, "a president isn't defined by how loudly he talks, but by how much good he leaves behind." Trump blinked hard, visibly thrown off balance. The air tightened. Even the cameras seemed to zoom in on their own. Across the nation, nobody moved. Even the people scrolling TikTok froze mid-swipe. What made the moment so powerful wasn't the drama. It was the contrast, two legacies colliding under bright studio lights. One carved by turmoil, one by patience. One fueled by noise, the other by silence. One chasing dominance, the other holding ground. And as the tension rose, Trump slipped into rally mode, bringing up exaggerated stories about the Biden administration withholding aid and giving benefits to undocumented immigrants. Stories that even fact-checkers blinked at in confusion. Obama didn't flinch. He simply watched. The moderator looked from one man to the other like she'd forgotten her own questions. It wasn't a debate anymore. It wasn't even an interview. It was two eras of America, sitting at the same desk, speaking directly through the television into the country's chest. And Americans understood something, without needing subtitles or commentary. Something in the air had shifted, something deeper than politics, something the cameras weren't built to capture, but did anyway. Live, unfiltered, unedited, and unforgettable.